All right, guys, welcome. Sorry, I've got my laptop mic here. I don't have my normal mic, no webcam. I had to move my laptop down to the living room because my wife needed to put my daughter to bed. And of course, here in this Airbnb in Costa Rica, I am trading from the master bedroom, which is where they sleep. So I got back a little bit late from Costco. The local Costa Rican version is called Price Smart. Got a lot of good stuff. Preparing for the move to the beach on Saturday. Got home a little bit late, but no big deal. It's only 9 p.m. Eastern, so the markets aren't really moving yet. So our analysis here for the next 24 hours will be very, very valid. If you haven't signed up for Discord, we just set one up. We'll figure out how to get that going. The link is in the video description box from the video right before this. So go check that out. Make your way there. That's where I'm going to be posting a lot of really cool trade ideas in real time and things like that. Eventually, that's where we'll do a lot of the course stuff and the indicators and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's just get to the analysis here. So this is the ES daily chart. Remember, always is right here to the far right. So that's daily, weekly bars, monthly, quarterly, yearly, right? And if you didn't see last night's video where I went into all this, go check that out. And then this video will make more sense for you. And as you start to follow these analysis videos every single day, you'll get really familiar with what I'm talking about and how everything works and all that kind of stuff. So just stay patient, stick with it, and it'll change your life because the analysis works really well. And I've just been putting up amazingly consistent results since I started using my new indicators, and it's really exciting. Even I'm pretty blown away by how well everything is working. All right, so looking at ES here, the daily went for congestion entrance down, right? So we were kind of grinding higher here, and then a congestion move to the downside on some pretty decent volume there, right? But look, I mean, it got bought back up pretty solidly. So is this one of these situations where this is going to pick up the middle of the moving average envelope and fire us down like that? I mean, guys, anything can happen. It's possible, but I just don't see that happening right now. It's not a pattern I would bet on because the weekly range is still very small and we're very choppy here. So this isn't a market I would trade. I'm not going to trade it. But for those of you who do trade it, I mean, look, I would probably favor the long side, and I'd pay a lot of attention to these cyan dots, the envelope bottom. I would just watch and see if your intraday charts, go down and test this 6120 level down in here. And, look, you don't have to go in right when it gets to that level because it may go like that. But what I'm thinking is that if you see some good evidence on your intraday charts that 6120 level looks strong, then I think you could see a push, up like that. All right. So that's what I would be looking for on ES. Although, again, it's not like one of my picks. It's not one I would trade. I'm just trying to help you guys out who trade ES, what I'm seeing with my indicators and what you should look for. Let's go to the NASDAQ. And you're just going to have to bear with me. You can, watch this on 2x speed so you can speed through all the charts loading because I don't have all my screens down here. So I can't pause and restart and whatever. So, all right. So with the NASDAQ, it's pretty similar here. It's tough to read. Same analysis as for ES. I wouldn't be trading this. I mean, I'll probably run my Tradeify strategy tomorrow because I like really choppy markets for those accounts. So I'll probably trade the NASDAQ. I'm going to be looking pretty carefully at this 22,100 level, the cyan dots right here, because these are our congestion dots, right? So this is the support level that you want to look at tomorrow for the NASDAQ, right into 22,100 for the long, just for a choppy day is what I'm expecting. And I'll be looking at that support level very carefully on my intraday charts. And when we start live streaming, I'll show you how we do this live. But for now, I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of a head start for tomorrow. But again, this is not like a pick I would bet on. Like last night, I picked natural gas because it was just clear as day that was a great short. And I hope some of you took advantage of that. And we'll see today when we go through all the markets if there's another really good, clear as day trade that I can say, hey, this is a trade I really like. So just to be clear, on the ES and the NASDAQ, it's like nothing I'm looking at going, oh my goodness, I would have to trade these markets. But generally looking bullish, and those support levels I called out look pretty good. Let's look at the Dow. All right, so looking at the Dow here, wow, the Dow took a little bit more of a beating today, for sure. You've got some big volume there. Look, you tagged the pink dot there perfectly. I mean, that's amazing. That is there when this day closes. I mean, that's just incredible. So what do I like about it? I mean, look, you got a lightning flash here. You guys know how I like these flashes. These are really important, guys, because it's not just a visual. Oh, there's a flash. No. This is all based on a lot of different calculations. So these flashes are important, especially when they tag that pink dot like that and start pushing back up. So again, I don't really like where we're at on the weekly and the monthly. It's not clear, but if I had to bet, I would be betting on some support pushing higher for the Dow. That's what I would bet on. Now, the best trades are when you get this kind of a flash into, let's say, like a strong weekly support level, a strong monthly support level. We don't have that here. So it's not something I'd be going gung-ho. I wouldn't trade this market. I'm not going to trade this market, but for those of you who like the Dow, it's looking like it's going to try to push back higher. Let's look at the Russell. And tonight's going to be a quick analysis, guys, just because I got started later and I got to get to Vikings Valhalla on Netflix. I got to relax, unwind. Haven't had dinner yet, but I wanted to get this out for you guys here. So I want to start doing these as religiously as possible, so you can count on this every day to help your trading the next day. All right, so Russell, sort of the same thing. It's like the Dow. It's not something I'm nuts about, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it push higher. Um, but it's not something, the indices for me, they're really not like, go-to markets for tomorrow. I'm expecting some chop, some support, but keep an eye, because if that support starts to break, I mean, you may see some big follow through. So, just know that it's not like something I would, bet on. All right, let's just quickly look at bonds. Like today, I would bet on, last night, natural gas, and I said even platinum should have a lot of support. I didn't even see what platinum did throughout the day, but we'll see what platinum did. And you'll know when I really like a market, and those are the ones I'll tell you. So here's the 10-year Treasury. Again, just tight, choppy. To be honest, no clue whatsoever. Let's just skip over the 30-year. Let's look at the Ultra Bond. They're going to be the same anyways. So for those of you that like the bonds, the Ultra Bond here will be the same. It's probably going to be like a 10-year. Yeah, look, you're choppy. You're in this range. Not a good place to risk your money. I have no idea. Stay away from bonds unless you want to probably get chewed up and spit out. Let's look at gold. I haven't traded gold in a while, so again, I don't know if we're on the April contract like CR Charts is telling me, but those of you who trade gold, use your judgment. This analysis will stick, but if you're on a different contract or whatever, I haven't checked these. Just make sure you have the right prices and the right levels. It was like natural gas today, right? Like the H contract from March was the one we should be trading in, but Sierra Charts already wanted me to roll over to the April contract, J, and I really had no choice about that with Sierra Charts. So we're rolling over on some of these contracts, so just be careful with that. All right, so here's gold, the April contract. Do we have anything I like? I mean, we're firing to the upside here. Monthly's pushing higher, probably going to gun for 3,000. I don't see why it wouldn't. The daily's just grinding, choppy. I mean, look, I don't like this. I wouldn't trade it. If you want a level for gold, look at all three of these pink dots sitting here, right? If you're a gold trader, the safest trade in my bet would be, if you get lucky on the news release tomorrow, I think it's jobless claims or something. I can't remember what it is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, but if you get spiked down here, look at that cyan dot, the envelope, the pink dot. That is a confluence of support right there at around 29.32 to 29.20. So based on how strong the weekly and the monthly look, if we punch down there, I'd be looking to buy that for a push back up. Now, it's not something I'm going to trade, but for those of you who trade gold, that's probably what I'd be looking at. All right, let's look at silver real quick. And again, I'm just going through these markets, giving you my 2 cents with my indicators and my charts. And if I see, the reason I like to go through all the markets, because you never know where that great trade is going to be hiding, just like natural gas was there last night. Had we not gone through all the markets, we wouldn't have seen natural gas, right? So that was cool that we found that. All right, so here's silver. Same thing, not really as clear. It's certainly not as strong as gold. So, you could say, oh, if it comes down here, would you buy it? I mean, it's probably not a bad play, similar to what we just talked about with gold, 32.80 on silver, but gold definitely looks stronger. So silver, look tight, choppy, stay away from it. Let's look at copper. Gotta bear with me while these things load. It is 8:30 almost here in Costa Rica, 9:30 Eastern. Great time zone for trading. Way better than Europe when I was in the Canaries and Sweden and Malta. Oh, I'd have to be up in the middle of the night to do this, which is why I never did it. So this is fantastic. All right, so here's copper. And we can see that the monthly is already coming out of tagging this key resistance level here on copper. Weekly exhaust rolling over. So, copper looks like it's probably going to be under pressure. I wouldn't short here based on what I'm seeing. Tight choppy. I don't like it. Let's look at platinum. Remember, I said platinum yesterday. I said, hey, that could be a good buy for some support. I really have no idea what happened today with platinum. We'll see. But if you go back and watch yesterday's video, this is one of my picks with natural gas. But I said I like natural gas a lot better. But I said, look, we got on platinum yesterday. Go watch the video. I said, with that blue flash pattern, and then you see my yellow dot. It's there. It's holding these yellow, like all this right here, right? I said we should see a little bit of a bounce here, and we did. And why was that? Because the daily was flashing, boom, right into the weekly key support level. That's very, very important. You've got confluence of time frames there, right? Multiple time period analysis is one of the keys, in addition to my indicators and all the formulas that being crunched with the price data, the volume data, the footprint, all that kind of stuff. So it's really giving these key levels, and when they match up, that's very, very, very important. So look, if you played the long side from platinum today, like I suggested last night, wasn't a bad play. You didn't get a huge move, but certainly worked. All right. So for today, do I see anything with platinum that I like? No, I don't know. It was tight inside bar. I don't know what's going on with platinum. Nothing crazy there. Let's go ahead and look at crude oil. For some reason, the energy sector always takes a long time to load on my Sierra charts. I have no idea why. I'm excited. My programmer is working on TradingView, so hope to have that ready in the next few weeks, along with at least the beginning lessons of the course and all that kind of stuff. I'm working on it. And this Saturday, we're moving down to the beach, so I'm going to have a lot more energy, be surfing every day, and just be trading and recording, course lessons in between and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be fun. All right, you see what I mean with crude loading here? It just takes forever. Wait till you see like natural gas. I mean, it takes forever to load the natural gas chart, and I don't know why that is, but I'm guessing because my formulas use a bunch of weird different volume and price metrics. So I don't know. Maybe it's just has a harder time sifting through it on the energies for some reason. I'm not sure. We'll see if TradingView loads everything faster. It might. That'd be cool. All right, so crude right here. I'm not like seeing anything crazy. I really don't know what crude wants to do. Certainly you've got a lot of support here at like 72 for right now. If you see the middle of the moving average envelope here on the weekly, that's a pretty strong support level. The daily, I covered this yesterday, but we closed here above that. That was all resistance here, right? All those dots and everything. When that bar there closed, boom, that was all resistance. And you see that the daily chart had no problem squeezing up and then closing still above resistance, right? So when it breaks resistance, what does it become? It becomes support. And you see today, it tested again, becomes support. So the market's telling you got a ton of support there at 72. Look here on the monthly chart, you got a ton of support there at 72. So probably going to continue to be choppy. I'd look for support into that 72 level. For crude, again, it's not like a trade. I would just, like natural gas last night, I would just like put on an order and leave it and let it go, right? I didn't do that because I'm still getting used to all these markets. I haven't traded in a while, but I will tell you when that's the kind of market I like. Crude, I wouldn't do that, but if you're day trading crude, look, I'd be long from the 72 level-ish, but I would wait for my intraday charts to confirm. That's the key, right? That's where you put the edge on your side. You don't just go gung-ho, because you've got a level. All right, let's look at RBOB here. Probably going to be pretty similar to crude. Probably going to take days and days and days to load, but we'll see if we can get a little bit of a snapshot here. Trying to rifle through all these markets for you guys before I get to Vikings Valhalla. Great show. Reminds me of the ancestors of my Swedish wife. They're all Swedish Viking giants on her side of the family. And they're wonderful, wonderful people. Very lucky to have such a great wife and a great in-law family. All right, so here is, RBOB. And look, the weekly, choppy, shitty, no thanks. Look at the daily here. You don't want to mess with this. This is just, let's not even waste our time with RBOB. Unfortunately, when CR chart starts to crunch this data, you can't like write it through. Let's, heating oil. Okay, we'll look at it. I don't want to skip over anything because you just never know where that gem will be hiding. Maybe it's heating oil. I don't know. If I would skip over heating oil and be like, RBOB was not good. Let's just skip over heating oil. Probably tomorrow I'd look at it and be like, oh, heating oil was where the trade was. So that's why I don't want to neglect any one of these markets because you never know where the good setup is going to be hiding. And we got to find these and trade them and make money. You see heating oils trying to break out a little bit. I don't really have a read here, to be honest, like with what I'm seeing on the weekly. Choppy. I mean, you are at that, that's right, from last night. You're at that quarterly resistance level right there. That's key, 2.5 right there, right? But we may want to go back up there and test that. So, look, I wouldn't be trading heating oil with what I'm seeing right now, but let's keep an eye on that 2.5 level. I'm pretty sure none of you probably trade heating oil anyway, so no one cares. But we want to keep an eye on these anyways. I would be guessing that this is going to want to try and keep squeezing higher. But it's not like something I'd bet on, All right, let's look at our beautiful natural gas where we absolutely knocked it out of the park. Go watch that video from yesterday. Picking these things off before they happen. I mean, that's one thing I think that makes this channel, in addition to the proprietary indicators I've developed and all that kind of stuff, but just what makes this channel unique is to be able to sit here and really give you guys a clean look and go, look, I think natural gas for the next 24 hours is going to be a fucking awesome short because of ba. And then you see it's called out ahead of time, and then you see the result. It's like, holy shit, it worked. It's not going to work every time, but, it works a lot, enough to make a lot of money and have an edge. That's why, what I'm sharing with you guys here, like, it's got a really good edge, no matter how you want to trade it. You see natural gas. Like, I clicked on natural gas. We're waiting for it to load. You see it gets all squirrely and spinny. For some reason, it takes forever to load natural gas. I'm not sure why, but whatever. We'll wait. It's worth the wait because we will take a look at our call from last night and see what the market did. Just got to wait for this sucker to spin. See, normally I would pause the video right now for you guys and, come back when it's done. But since I don't have all my screens up, like, I don't want to bring the OBS thing up into the main screen. And you get it. You guys get it. You guys are getting it. All right. See, it just gets stuck here. It's crazy. So last night we talked about picking off that 4.33 level on the April contract. And then, of course, I told you what the numbers were on the March contract. But you can see on the daily chart, that was it. Look, it just went up, fished that 4.3. Why? Because look at that pink dot, right? I mean, it was too overextended. Beautiful, great short. I mean, all day, the intraday chart was just straight down. I was waiting for a pop to short, but I couldn't put too much focus on my XFAs for natural gas, which is what I want to do because I was so busy, really focusing on my Tradeify accounts. And, that's where I made my $2,200 on those 6 accounts today. So, look, you only have so much brain power and capacity to multitask. And, anyways, I was watching natural gas, and it was really fun to see it, do what it did when we thought. The currencies, I don't even think I have time for the currencies tonight, guys. I'm too tired, but we'll go ahead and look at the euro. I mean, I almost never trade the currencies because they're just not volatile. Sometimes if I see a good play, we'll play it. I like to know if the dollar generally is strong or weak, what the yen is doing, what the franc is doing. That can help influence how I'm feeling about overall risk on or risk off. I tie that into bonds. What are interest rates doing? So it is all very important as a package for sure. But tonight, I don't think we need to be, too hung up with what currencies are doing. But let's look at the euro, at least, if nothing else. So for natural gas here, look, I don't know. That was the move yesterday. Came back down. Are we going to push lower or push higher? I really don't know. But my guess would be you probably still have quite a bit of support here, is my guess. It's not something I'd be betting the farm on. But if you had to pick a level, I'd say somewhere right around here, 4.050. Should be a lot of support with the middle of the moving average envelope and the near low right there, all that kind of stuff. So look, it's not something I'd be going betting the farm on. So I know Mohammed in Discord, you were asking about this. If I had to throw a dart at a board, I would say probably there's some support here. I would look for the intraday chart, see if price tests this level at 4.05, and starts to stall. And then if you had that and maybe you had a long for a little push back up here, that could be a good trade. But again, the real good trade was yesterday, right? And now that's passed. And now we got to go on to another market with a good trade. All right, let's look at the euro. Didn't seem like the CR charts want to load that the first 75 times I clicked on it. Just kidding. I only clicked on it like 3 times, so it was like, wasn't loading. All right, let's see what the euro did today, because this will also tell us too, right, with what we're seeing on the NASDAQ, the S&P, all that kind of stuff. So you had a little bit of a push higher here, it looks like, with the euro, dollar weakening. So that's probably why the stock market, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 rallied off their lows. You had a weaker dollar. Bonds were pretty stable. So, not really like a super risk off market, right? More risk on, slightly risk on. All right, so there's the euro daily chart. Pretty good range for the euro, to be honest. Like, 1.0440 to 1.0505. 100 pips. That's not bad. A little more than that for the euro. Pretty good. Anyways, this is really important to note. We're coming out of this monthly pocket right there. The pocket is these near lows. Boom, boom. You're coming out of that now, nice and solid. I think the monthly is going to want to try to go for congestion entrance up, maybe try and get back to the true average here on the quarterly 106. Feels like we may want to go test that level, which is why the weekly is pushing higher, which is why the daily, yesterday I didn't have a clue, right? But now we get to see, oh, this came out here, right? And oh, what happened? Well, we broke the pink dot. That's pretty key. That's a nice resistance level that's got broken. Yeah, that cyan dot held, right? That resistance level held, but the live one is below us, which means it's support. So if I had to throw a dart at a board with the euro, I'd say you got this crossover zone here, all these dots, bang, 104.80, down in here on the monthly. Yeah, I'd probably, on a little, I'd be looking for a range like this, something like this for the euro, and I'd probably look to buy down in there that, whoops, where's my yellow arrow? That 104.80-ish level. But again, use your intraday charts. But it looks, look, this influences our analysis on the indices, right? It's, I think they're going to kind of be supportive and balanced. Well, we're seeing evidence that the euro is probably going to be a little stronger against the dollar. That means there's not like there's not a lot of fear in this market. Bonds are stable. The euro's clawing back a little bit against the dollar, right? So probably indices will be supported, like I said. That's kind of my guess, right? All right, we don't need to look at all the other currencies. I really don't even have time for the grains tonight, guys. I'm just exhausted. But other nights we'll go over everything like we did last night. And I just got to kind of get in the flow and keep doing it. So look, I hope this helps you. I don't see any crazy opportunities out there today. There might be one lurking in the grains or, the meats, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. You got some really good analysis here for all these markets, no matter which one you trade. I've given you some good levels, my ideas on direction, even though there's not like a wow, like natural gas last night was like, wow, that looks great. And sometimes you just, even through all these markets, you don't get one like that every night. But you get them, a lot of nights. But I think we got a pretty clear read here. I'm probably going to focus on, I don't know if I'll trade my XFAs tomorrow. The ones that have like 13 grand in. I've already taken a ton of payouts on those accounts. I'm just kind of waiting until I see something I like on those. I did like natural gas last night for those, but again, I was focusing on my Tradeify accounts. I can only focus, so much on one side. So I'm going to be focusing, I think I'll trade the NASDAQ. I'll look for a range-bound day with strong support into the daily value area low on the NASDAQ, and I'll probably look to trade my Tradeify accounts and get another $380 a day across 6 accounts, $2,300. And then I would only need one more day to trigger my third payout for 18 grand gross, 16.2 net, which you never know what's going to happen. I could still take a hit on those accounts, but if I get a little lucky and keep making good trades, I can get my way to that third payout, which would be sweet. All right, you guys, take care. Good night, and please remember to like, share, subscribe. Go check the Discord link in the video description of the previous video. I don't have the energy right now to copy it and put it in this one. So anyways, it is what it is. All right, good night, you guys. Cheers.